The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy G-Wade holding it down, G-Wade Podcast, and I'm kicking it alongside with my man Deacon
Dirty.
And we got a special guest on the show today. Basically we trying to find out where the money at, where the money reside, or all that. What's that other one? I can't even think of the other song. It's not coming to me quick enough.
Money, money, money.
Oh, okay, we'll talk about that one too. Shanann Huie is in the house. What's happening?
I'm just here to give some knowledge. Yeah, I'm always in teacher mode because that's what I do. I try to teach.
Well, when I see your post on, let's back up just a little bit. You were here about a year ago. Yes. In fact, you just said about a year ago. Right. You sat right here in that same seat, discussing finances and all that good stuff. And you had posted something recently on. It was a call to action on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, where's that at? You know what I'm saying? Help, SOS, and you said, hit me up. And so I was like, well, come and just talk about it. Yeah. And so that's why you're here today. But before we get into all this PPP loans and EIDLs and grants and all that stuff, we just give a little backdrop of who you are so that when you start talking these numbers, they know, oh, yeah, she the real thing.
Well, my name is Shanann Huie, and I'm originally from Jamaica.
All right.
I migrated to New York, then to New Jersey, and then to Miami, Florida, where I did most of my education.
Okay.
I have a undergrad in psychology, and I did everything you can look it up online.
Mm-hmm.
I have a master's degree in math from Nova Southeastern University.
Okay.
I have an undergrad in psychology also from Carlos Albizu University.
All right.
I have an EDS, which is an educational specialist degree. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I teach in organizational leadership. That means I teach people how to get small businesses, how to set it up properly, mm-hmm. and how to monetize on it. When I was in New York, I lived in New York before I came to Georgia. My income dropped about $80,000-$90,000.
That's a big difference.
It's a big difference from New York salary to Georgia salary.
Yeah.
So I was doing taxes along in the background for friends for several years. So when I got here, I was like, how am I going to make up $70,000, $80,000 that I'm used to in New York? Mm-hmm. To survive in Georgia? And everybody say, isn't the cost of living more expensive in New York? It depends on how you're looking at it.
Gotcha.
Because New York, you have more, and here you have to find the more.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then I said, okay, I'll open up a tax company. So I opened up a tax company in Jonesboro. Mm-hmm. And from that, I see that a lot of people, when they do their taxes, is the time they have the most money in their hand. But they're not using it for anything. Oh, I'm for sure. And I always tell people, that's your money mm-hmm. that you gave the government to play with.
Yeah. Instead
of you having your money during the year to do what you need to do. It's not a good strategy to have somebody hold your money. But
especially when they don't give it all back.
They don't give it all back.
Yeah.
And we're programmed to that. Mm-hmm. Oh, let's get a refund at the beginning of the year. We call it Black Christmas because that's what I used to call it.
That's the first time I heard that.
Yeah, Black Christmas because that's when you have a lot of money.
Okay,
because during regular Christmas, you don't become rich, you become broke.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
You start paying it back. I need a loan, but I'm going to give it back to you when I get my taxes.
Right, and that's what everybody, it should never be like that. Mm-hmm. You should have your money during the regular year. Mm-hmm. If you're getting back $5,000 in taxes in January, February, March, April, May, those times.
Right.
You should be getting your $400 or $500 during the regular year and using it for something that can help you.
That can benefit you. Right. So what you're saying is instead of that $400 or $500 extra a month that's going to the IRS,
right,
that could be money in your pocket being used for
a business.
A
small business. Because
essentially when they give you that return at the beginning of the next year, it's not even the full amount that you had been giving them the year prior.
Right. So
Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Especially that's someone that's on a W-2. You need to look at your W-4 every year and restructure it. There's no way you should be having $5,000 tax return. it just doesn't make any sense.
Wait, so explain that. You said there's no way you should. Meaning, what should you?
You should be using your money during the regular year.
I guess what I'm saying is, so what should you be getting? Zero? Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I get it.
Right.
But, we're programmed. You know what I mean? Somebody right now is like, hold up. So what you saying is I ain't going to get nothing at the end of the year when you're so used to getting something.
Right.
But essentially, you haven't been getting nothing all year just to get that piece of it back at the beginning.
And it's your money that they're using, and they're getting the interest on your money. And this year, a lot of people haven't even gotten their tax return back because they have sent out so much money that they're in debt. So they're holding some of that money to gain the interest on the money.
I tell you, boy, we get used left and right.
We're getting used left and right.
Left and right. So what would you suggest, since we're talking taxes and keeping your money throughout the year, what do you suggest people do? Or what, I guess, suggestion, what would you suggest?
Have someone look over your W-4 and readjust it for you. Only if you want the money at the end. You see, some people, their motives and the things that drive them are totally different. Mm-hmm. My motive that drives me is I want to invest in properties. I want to do so. I want my money now. I want to put it in my PRA, private reserve account, and I want to be my own bank. I don't want you holding my money. I know how to use my money. And I know at the end of the year, I won't owe anything because I'm going to make sure that I do my taxes in the legal way so that I won't owe anything anyway. So
gotcha. And I guess that's easy for you.
Yes.
Because you're so smart when it comes to these numbers and math and taxes and all this stuff. But to the average Joe, I think there's a fear that would set in because we would think if I'm getting it now, they're going to want it later. You know what I mean?
That's understandable. That's why I partnered with a company that actually have EAs. EAs are enrolled agents through the IRS that will look over your last 3-year taxes and see where you can save some money. Okay. We're not telling you to do like everything by the book because some people do like that money at the end of the year because they're not disciplined to save during the regular year. Yeah. So we have EAs that will actually look over your last 3 years taxes and see if you left any money on the table because when we're doing taxes, we don't know all the tax laws. There are so many tax laws in publication and they change every year. Mm-hmm. So if you need any help or if you would like somebody to look it over, just call me and I will help you. Mm-hmm. I'm there for that.
So, I know we're going to get into this with the PPP loans and the grants and EIDLs. And even with these child tax credits that's happening, or what is that what it's called now that people are getting it monthly? Is that affecting your tax and your income? Well, one, is it affecting your income? And two, like if you work in a regular job, and two, does it affect your taxes at the end of the year? Like
you don't never get nothing for free.
Yeah, see,
if you're not structured the correct way, the CTC is the child tax care credit. They're giving you the money now for later on you won't be getting it. But if you know how to do things, then you won't have anything to worry about.
If you know how to do things the right way, or if you know how to do things the correct way.
If you know how to do things the correct way, have a CPA looking over your stuff, having an EA looking over your stuff. See, when you go to these little places like H&R Block or those places, they're not really geared to save you money. They're there to gain money for them, right? Because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. But me as a tax person, and I value my clients, I try to save them money and do everything. And I also have a tax attorney in Augusta, Georgia, that looks over most of my taxes. If I have a problem or I see somebody could do something better, he looks it over and makes sure it's right. Because I don't think you should even leave $1 for Uncle Sam because he's not giving you $1. And I hate to see what the economy is going right now with this tax thing that they're sending all of this money.
Right.
There's no way we can keep on the trajectory that we're going on without something happening. I'm just trying to see what law they're going to put in January. Because, they change it every time.
Yeah.
Yes, they change it all the time. Because at first we weren't taxed on unemployment. And we were taxed on the unemployment. And then they said, ooh, for the first $10,000, I'm going to forgive them. And I'm trying to figure out, why is this happening? Yes.
So do you think that the system is going to, in a sense, implode on it within itself? You know what I mean? Because obviously if they're giving out all of this money, it's got to come from somewhere. And that means that they are themselves in debt.
Right.
So isn't something going to crash?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking something major is going to happen. And if you're not financially secure right now, I think it's going to have an effect on a lot of people. And the people at the bottom is the one always suffering, and the people at the top is the one that always, because they know the rules, they know the laws, they know things. That's why I'm telling everybody right now, get you a small business. There's money out there, there's grants out there. Even if you know how to do nails, get you, if you know how to bake cookies, if there's something that you're passionate about, do it, because that will help you in the long run with your taxes.
Yeah, we had someone on a tax guy on a few months ago that was talking about taxes and so on and so forth, because he does this Facebook Live thing. And he had mentioned that. He was like, start you a business. And the way he was explaining it, like what you just said, he said, start your business. You never know. It might just become successful. Right. But the whole purpose is so that you can...
hint.
That part.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I think people are afraid to do something like that. One, because it seems like, well, what would I do? I don't know how to do anything, or something to that nature. It's going to be hard to do, because what do you mean file for LLC and do the EIN number and the open the bank? Oh, I got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's extra work for something that they don't really believe that would help them in the long run.
For $100, you can go online and do it. If not, you can call me, and for $200,
for $200,
I will do everything. Yeah, for 1 hour. That's what I do. I set up small business. If you don't know what you want to do, you can call me, and we can sit and talk for 1 hour and just throw the ideas at me. And then, because if you have a business and you don't like it, then you're not going to be successful.
Right.
But find out what your passion are. That's what I sit. I do the consultation, and I sit and I say, what do you like to do? Where do you see yourself 1 year from now? Because if you're going to do something and there's no vision of it, then it'll make no sense. You started.
Gotcha.
Except for,
for the purposes.
For the purposes. But you should always have a 1 year goal, a 3 year goal, and a 5 year goal. So if you see something that you're passionate about and you can make some extra money and it could save you some money, then I think it's a win-win situation.
Gotcha. What about if it was like Ubering or DoorDash or those sort of businesses? Does that fall under the same category? Yes,
because then you're a sole prop. When you're a 1099 employee, so you are a sole prop. You're actually a business. You yourself is the business.
Okay.
Right, when you do that. And then on the weekends, you can run it on your own. You can start buying 1 or 2 cars and actually rent out to do something else. Use one thing to become a stepping stone. If you like driving, there's a lot of things out there for people that like to drive. I don't, but there's a lot.
Yeah, I used to enjoy windshield time, but I'm not a big fan of it as much as I used to be. So I don't know if Ubering is for me per se.
Right.
You do it. I think it's a dope idea, but it's just not for me. Because I think, we talked a moment ago about passive income, and is looking for something that you could do, or something that your money will go to work for you. Like it'll get suited up and clock in while you're asleep. What are some things that people can do that could become passive income?
I know MWR. MWR is a great company, and it also teaches you about financial literacy. There is a educational college piece inside of MWR. Once you're in there, the things that they don't teach us in school. Like I tell everybody, I'm a teacher. I have a master's degree in math. They never taught me how to balance a checkbook. They didn't teach me about tax strategies. They didn't teach me about tax breaks. They didn't teach me about 401ks, Roth IRAs, buying vacation properties. There's a lot of things they did not teach me.
Like real life stuff. You know,
real life stuff. Yeah. Compounding interest was the difference between regular interest and compounding interest. They never taught me anything. So that's why I did partner up with this company that will actually, you have a financial advisor in your back pocket. If you bring 3 people in, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. And I hate when people talk about pyramid scheme. Whole life is a pyramid scheme. Everything you do in life, somebody at the top is going to benefit off of the person at the bottom. Right. So when you start
AKA Amazon.
Yes. AKA Herbalife. Avon been
Mary
around
Kay,
for Mary Kay. Those are all the same things. So why not have something that's benefit? I could sign up for Mary Kay and I buy makeup and I won't use that stuff. I put it down somewhere. But when you have a financial advisor in your back pocket that you can ask anything, like how do I correct my W-4? Something is on my credit. Can I fix that? Okay. I'm paying light, phone, water, gas. We do debt elimination. You know, we do, if you have a mortgage, can you tell me how to pay it instead of 30 years in 15 years? This is why I partner with MWR with my tax, because I have a lot of people that they come from another tax company. And I'm like, who did your taxes? Oh, Joe, Johnny, sister, Suda. Okay, so did you get all your tax breaks? And they don't.
Yeah, because they wouldn't know what to look for. They don't know what the write-offs are.
They don't.
No, that's interesting and good, because I was somebody that I know has been complaining for the past several years that whoever is doing their taxes is not yielding them, anything at the end of the year. Now that's not me. I'm not, I got a friend, I really got a friend. It really is a friend, you know what I'm saying? That complains about that. And I don't think their preparer really knows what to look for, or is there a such thing called too much by the book? That
you could never be too much by the book if you know what the tax loopholes are.
Okay.
Like when you go out to eat, that's a tax break.
Hello.
When you drive your car, that's a tax break.
Hello.
You driving.
I'm helloing these things.
Right. If you have, like you can do 12 days a year where you go to a hotel and or use your house, and you can use that as a tax break depending on how you're structured.
Yeah.
I don't deal with S corps and C corps. I only deal with LLCs.
LLCs, gotcha.
But if you fly to Jamaica, you fly to Timbuktu, that's the write-off. So having a small business and knowing the tax loophole, you have a home in Atlanta and a vacation property somewhere else. There's a lot of tax loophole, but when you go to these little places, they don't know that. They're not there. They're there to use you as a puppy mill.
Gotcha.
You come in, you go out. You come in, you go out. They're not really caring about it.
That's a good example, puppy mill.
Like a puppy mill. That's what we are, especially in the low income neighborhoods. Like when I drive around, I see these tax places. They're there for 3-4 months, and when they're done, they're gone. Oh,
so they're just using it for that moment to capitalize on obviously the excitement of the people, because you see those get $6,000 up front or get $3,
got to do without front spinning the banner. Trying to pull you in.
Yeah.
I say they're raping the community. That's what I say. And it bothers me because a lot of people, they go to these places that's not vested in the community that they're in.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Okay. All right. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's jump into these PPPs. And how do I get me a Maserati and Lambo like some of these people? How are people getting? I mean, I don't know how you know, but how do people get these $3 million PPP loans? Of course, they're getting arrested because they're doing fraud, because they're buying 27 cars and jewelry and houses and have no real business. How are they even able to do that?
Because there's no checks and balances, I guess, until things start popping up and flipping up and down. Because the SBA, they're trusting that whatever you're putting in there is the correct thing.
Real, okay.
And I have a lot of people coming back. Can you do my 2019 taxes? I made $120,000. No, I'm not doing it. No.
Oh, you going to jail?
You're going to jail because that's why
That's scary.
Yeah, it is scary, and it's very sad that people were motivated by $10,000 and $20,000 to jeopardize themselves.
Yeah.
Because that 2019 that you put, I know the threshold for you to get that 20,000 was between 90,000 and 120,000. You said you made that in 2019. But on your 2019 taxes, you only had $30,000. So now you're going to have that 100. You only got 2 years now to add that 100 and something $1,000 to that $30,000. And now you're saying you're in the middle class and you were not taxed on that properly 2 years ago. So I wonder what you're going to do now.
Sheesh.
I'm not doing it for anyone. I'm not doing any Schedule C's because I'm not jeopardizing myself. And when people are doing things, they need to do it the correct way, and that's it.
So you're saying that because that means you would have to, if you were to do something like that, you would have to move some numbers around.
You're going to have to amend your taxes for 2019, and you have 2 years on a business to amend your taxes.
All right, so how do people go about legitimately? Because, some of this stuff is confusing, the second round versus the first round. If you got it the first round, can you get it the second round? If you didn't get it the first round, can you get it the second round? All that. What's the loan? What's really the forgivable loan? If it's a really forgivable, you know what I mean? It's a lot of confusion out there.
You forgivable if you have all your paperwork correctly and done correctly, and you still have to do an amendment on the 2019 because you did state to the SBA that you made $100 and something $1,000. Plus, you forgot what you put on your W-2.
Most people do.
They're going to have to add both of those together, right?
And that's obviously they're going to come knocking for those forms, those documents.
Of course, they're going to ask for those documents. That's why I think there's a lot of holdup right now. They're trying to probably do some checks and balances against what you put in and what you didn't put in.
Now, what's the difference between the PPP and the EIDL?
Oh, that's an economics. It's two different things. One is a payroll protection program that if you had employees, that's why a lot of people was putting, I have 1 or 2 employees, or I was my employee myself. But it's two different. One is forgivable and one is not forgivable.
And which one is forgivable?
The PPP.
Okay.
The EIDL is not forgivable, but it's low interest. It's 3.4 to 3.75% interest. So like averagely, if you put the right thing on your loan application for approximately $40,000, I don't have all the numbers correctly, you'll be paying $200 a month. And I think $200 a month to keep you out of prison is worth better than it is what it is.
I'll drive for Uber then. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, right. You can come up with a $200. You pay $100 every 2 weeks. That's $50. Versus you putting that you made $150,000 on your taxes. And now there's going to be a lot of amendments that you have to do because you have to tell them that's what you put on that paperwork.
So how does the PPP loan work? Like when you get in the money, is that because I saw something that was saying that do you still have to pay the employees if they're no longer working with your company?
Oh wow, I never thought about that one.
I saw something about that recently. In fact, doing some research for for when you preparing for you. And it says something in regards to that, and it's the internet, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It said, yes, because I guess it's in a sense a way to keep the employee, even though your company had to close down, keep them paid until I guess life kind of sorts itself out, or for your business or whatever, something to that effect. But I was like, I didn't know you would still have to pay employees or no longer employees until your business opened back up or something.
I could find out that answer. I'm not HR. Remember, I don't do HR.
Gotcha.
Right? That's a different avenue. I don't do HR. Human resources. They're the one that does all of that part about how paying and grants and health care and stuff like that. I just do taxes and Schedule C's and make sure you get back the most. That's what I do.
Well, let's talk about the Schedule C, because explain what the Schedule C is.
The Schedule C is where you put your business information in for all of the expenses that you have.
Gotcha.
Right.
And so that means all expenses you have for your business, like you mentioned, obviously the overhead, which is your lease or your rent, equipment.
Right. Travel, food, gas.
Yeah.
License.
Business licenses, right.
Yeah, regular license. If you use an attorney to form your business.
Some forms, yeah.
Those are.
Even for the tax preparers.
And tax preparer too, yeah. So those are all fees that have your business running correctly.
Now, what is the signifier for the IRS that, well, maybe your company isn't really a company. Maybe you're just doing it as a hobby. Because I thought it was like a 5-year period that they kind of watch it or something. And if the company isn't
making money.
Yeah.
Right. They give you 5 years because they know most business, believe it or not, fail within the first 5 years. So they give you 5 years to get your stuff together to make a profit. Right. And once you're making a profit, then you have to pay the amount on the profit. See, that's what they want you to do. They want you to make a profit. So it benefits them because they'll be getting the taxes on whatever you do.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm with you. But so why just LLCs versus S corps and
LLC means it's a limited liability corporation. That means you're protected from them suing you, your personal. Right. That's what that means. It's a protection. Like I have an LLC with my taxes, and I'm with Liberty Mutual, and my company is insured for $4 million. That just in case I have a cyber attack or something on my company is protected. So if someone information was leaked, they won't say, oh, and now it's $1 million, something happened. They won't sue my personal. They won't sue my home, my car, my bank account. They will go after the LLC.
Gotcha. How important is it for small businesses? Because, small businesses, in a lot of cases, is just the person, you know what I mean? Right. To not commingle their monies. Like if you have your company, but you also have, I guess, a job where you have an income going into, how important is it to keep those finances separated?
Well, I'm not perfect. In the beginning, I have like 4 or 5 bank accounts. Now my bank account is all over the place.
I got to rob Peter. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not it. Because there's certain banks that will only allow you to do certain business. Like Navy Federal won't have you do a tax company through Navy Federal.
Really?
So I had to do I had to go through Bank of America. So I had to switch my money from one. Not knowing the legality of certain banks, you have to find out, because I had put all my money in Navy Federal, and then when I said, okay, now can I open a business account they're like, no, you can't do a tax company here. I was like, what? So then I had to go to Bank of America and do it. So you got to make sure wherever you set up your business account is conducive to what you want to do. And it's best you take your EIN. It's real simple. And the Secretary of State, whatever state you're in, you take it to the bank, but do your research first, because a lot of banks, if you're doing like credit counseling or credit restoration or taxes, some banks will not support you if you're doing fix and flips, because right now I have a client that's trying to do investment and some banks won't take it. So you need to find out.
But why is that? I mean, isn't income? Because
some are more risky. They're more risky.
Gotcha.
Right.
How is the adult entertainment industry looked at when it comes to being a business?
It depends.
And I don't mean necessarily that you are porn. I mean, like, if you are,
What brought this question?
I know that's a far out there.
I bet you any amount of money is that the champagne, like you asked, because I want to. She want to know. Mercedes want to know what she need to do with her money. Like, can she legitimize being a exotic dancer? I don't know what the word is.
It would be independent contractor or something like
that? It would be a sole prop, independent contractor, but then she needs to have insurance on herself. See, a lot of these people did not have insurance on themselves, that in case something happened to them, then they're protected. Right? Because that's what I do. It's something like with my insurance. If I made $50,000 last year in the taxes, and this year I make $30,000, they will compensate for some part of the loss because it's a loss. It's a business, it's a loss. So if you're in the exotic business or whatever, you should.
I don't think that industry went down during COVID though. Yeah, I don't believe
went
so.
More up.
Because I've driven past a couple. I said past now. Slow down.
I've been there. I like stuff like that too. I like excitement.
I didn't see an empty parking lot, so. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe their business went down. I don't know, but I just didn't know how that was looked at by the IRS. That's not a real legitimate business, or it is, but we put it under this. You know what I mean?
It's a legitimate business because you're doing business as yourself. It's a DBA. You ever always see that word DBA is doing business as. Right, you're doing business as yourself. Like these movie stars, like Tina. Tina is doing business as Tina. So that's her copyright of her name. So, of course, you don't have to have a production company. As long as you're working, you're a sole prop. So that's what it is.
So why isn't, or is the IRS, or I guess government, whoever, are they preparing to do any more stimulus? Because I know I've talked to people, a few people, and they're wondering, because we're hearing that families with children are getting these tax credits and each month or however that works, and us without empty nesters, we're like, well, what about us?
I heard in the news, because remember, I do taxes. I don't follow the news. I heard there's supposed to be a fourth stimulus, but when it will be down, I have no idea. But I can research it.
No, it's just I think it's just something I'm sure the inquiring minds want to know, because they're giving out money still.
They gave our people unemployment, and you and I still had to work, and we didn't get any tax break for our unemployment.
That's true.
Right, we were working while people were getting unemployment. I'm not downing anybody for getting unemployment, but the arena is never fair. So sometimes you just play the game like how they throw you the ball.
Because some people didn't want to go back to work.
I like that.
Right. The arena is never fair. Right. Because some people didn't want to go back to work because they were making more unemployment versus their actual job.
Right. And the people that were paying taxes, they didn't give us any tax breaks.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, I didn't get a $10,000 tax break. Everything I made, I had to put it on there. Right, I didn't get a tax break. I wish I could get a $10,000 tax break. Let your income be less. Like if you make $100,000 and you get the $10,000 tax break, that means you're only taxed on $90,000 and not $100,000. See, when you pass the $100,000s, the tax bracket is a little bit more funny, because then you end up paying out more than you actually getting back. So I need that $10,000 tax break.
Keep you right under.
No, I'm way over there, but it will bring me close to there.
Oh, cool. Must be nice. Wow. I don't know. It's just weird because well, not weird, but do you think? How do I want to ask this question? Did COVID-19? I know it disrupted the way we operate now, but did it disrupt everything? In terms of finances with the government, IRS, are we or whatever so thrown off that we don't know what's about to happen?
In the African American and mixed different colors, because I'm Jamaican, I think this was one of the best things to happen to us because there was more small business created and more generational wealth acquired during COVID than any time, because people saw their values. Like, we don't really have to work and go work 9 to 5 unless we really, really want to do it. And people were setting up and becoming resourceful. And it was amazing. People have candy companies. These girls got their eyelashes company. They got the lip gloss company.
Yeah.
So for us, I think this is it's like the earthquake that we needed, and like shift the dirt a little bit more. We had more black millionaires made during COVID than any time in history.
Really?
Yes. These tech companies coming up. I know there's a girl on Instagram that I follow, and she's under 30, and now she's representing Ciroc just by her name. She's having a big thing happening the week. I know my producer friend, they're doing Stiletto Bosses, Making Magic production. So she's doing the real estate production. So a lot of people sat down and say, I don't need to go back to work.
Yeah.
And this COVID economically has done more for the smaller people than the bigger people, because remember, the bigger people is losing money, and at the end we're the one like doing a little bit more better.
Do you think business in terms of 9 to 5 as we know it will ever be the same? Like, will it ever go back to same, like you said, because people like we haven't worked, we've been off, we figured something out, so I don't have to go back to here, because a lot of people don't want to go back to those jobs that they once.
More people telecommuting, during this period too.
Yeah. So you think, I guess the business structure as we know it will be different.
I think it should be different, because there's a lot of moms that are home with their kids, and the nurturing part of moms are gone now, because in the 50s and the 60s, the mom were the showcase at home. So the kids, the values are a little bit different. With the mom having to work and the dad having to work, I think the family unit was a little bit messed up. Okay. And I think with the structure, people realize you don't have to be at work 5 days, especially when I was in New York. You had to get on the bus, get on the train, get off the bus, get off the train, go to work, get back on the bus, get on the train. So a lot of that commuting is cut out.
And that was a great portion of your day.
Yes. I would leave at 6. School didn't start till 8. I would get off at 3, and I didn't go home till 6, because you have the hustle and the bustle. And it's also better on the environment, because a lot of these cars are not out, rooming and all of this energy. We don't need rooming.
Yeah.
And I think, believe it or not, when we first started the COVID and I went outside, the air smelled better. The air looked better.
You know what? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
During COVID, like you said, a lot of us still had to go to work.
Right.
That's like, it was almost like a ghost town.
It felt weird. I was expecting tumbleweed at some point to come.
But I was loving it, though.
Yeah,
No traffic,
absolutely.
I was loving it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I think the same thing, because during 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020.
45 years. Yeah.
I know a handful of people that I know sat at home. Not sat at home, but they worked from home and never missed a beat. But loved it because you rolled over in your pajamas and you logged on and you did what you have to do. You interact with people, but it was sometimes it was Zoom or maybe a phone call or email, pushing paper back and forth through email. So you never really had to get up, fill a tank, and go to work.
Because this happened to me a couple of months ago. I called my bank just to check on, because I was due a credit, because my money got messed up some kind of way. So
get my money back, right?
Refund, yeah. So I called the same 1-800 number I always call. Guy answers the phone, talking to him. Hi, it's so. Can I get your number? We went through the whole spiel and everything. But I could hear like water in the background. Is this dude on his laptop at the beach? Like,
and he probably was.
I was like, if I wasn't sure, I thought I was being scammed. But it was the same number I always called. That's got to be a dope thing. You on the clock, but you
But you working from anywhere. Yeah.
And I think you're more productive anyway, because I was teaching school. Remember, I'm a Zoom teacher. So I was teaching school, and I was just as productive at home as I was at work, because I didn't have to rush. I didn't have to get up and da-da-da. Everything was convenient.
Right.
So when I transitioned back to the school, the only thing I missed was the human interaction between the children and I. That was the only thing. But away from doing it from home, I think it was good, because then parents were able to see and become a part of the learning arena for their children.
That, and they also saw what you've been telling them all year. Little Tommy will not sit still. And they seeing it for themselves firsthand. Like, oh, sorry, Miss Huie, you were right.
Yeah, I don't want to expound on that.
Yeah. Say less.
Because I love my job.
No, that's cool. No, that's cool. I get it. I mean, and I'm sure many people love their jobs, but if they knew that they could do it from home, or maybe not just the 5 days a week,
right?
They would love to just not sit at home, but be at home doing it from home.
Right. I think that's the goal anyway. That's my goal.
Yeah, no. Or like you just said, dig on the beach.
Yes.
Phoning it
in
in.
the background. I did. I heard water in the background.
Because as long as you have your setup,
Right.
it don't matter. Yeah, all you need is your laptop and the phone.
And the phone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Shoot. So what do you anticipate for? Well, okay, let me ask you this question first. What is one of the craziest? I know you can't be specific to a client, but one of the ones that a client that came in with their taxes all in disarray that you had to make some sense of because
Clean up.
Yeah, because everything was just all over the place. There was no real rhyme or reason. I mean, they had a job, but maybe their job wasn't so much the traditional 9 to 5 where you got a pay stub coming in.
That's a 1099.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So
independent contractor.
yeah, how do you pull that together? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Receipts.
Believe it or not, the IRS, you don't have to have receipts for the IRS. You can have a calendar. Remember the olden days, people used to hide their books.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
have a calendar of everything that you do daily because if it makes sense, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not just your bank account alone because sometimes I may do something. I have cards inside my bag and I may use it from one bank and then not from the other bank. But if I ever get audited, I know I have all my bank statements that I can download because they go back 3 years. They can download and show like, okay, I did this, 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 and this, and we'll just put it together. And that's why there's a lot of apps now that will merge everything.
Yeah.
Right, but you don't have to have receipts. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But if
I guess
you write
I can
it
keep
down,
it my receipts. Shoot.
yeah, you should. But you can write down on June I went here and I did this and I had dinner. Because if they want to verify it, they can verify it. You have to have some kind of paper trail.
So in other words, like your bank transaction log is what you're
You
saying.
can pay cash and write it down on the calendar because I have a calendar that I see clients. So I wrote down that I see Tom, John, we ate at here. Because sometimes I go inside my gun wallet and I take out cash because sometimes I just don't want to deal, especially my thing is sitting right there.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that I'm not afraid of you. I take it out and say, okay, here, like if I'm in the.
Oh, did I drop this?
Yes,
Sorry. Clink, clink.
So that's why I keep money in there.
That's funny.
So sometimes I keep $400 or $500, and it depends on where. Because I may have some places right now is getting real slick. They're not taking cards; they're only taking cash.
Really?
Really.
Now, when you say they're getting real slick, what's the slick part about it? They can now hide the money.
You said
No paper trail.
No paper trail. You said.
Like, no, he only gave me $25 when he
Right.
really gave you $150.
Right.
So,
And there's a lot of.
are we talking
community.
barbers and beauticians and stuff like that?
That's what I'm trying to say. And there's a lot of.
I mean,
culture.
I can say it. You ain't got to answer it, but yeah.
There's a lot of culture that they don't take cards, and they may only take 1 or 2 for the day, and they're working in the lower income neighborhood, but when they close up, they're driving 1, 2, 3 hours away to the higher neighborhood, and they're getting all these grants, and they're getting all these loans, and their kids are getting all of this stuff because cash has no tracer on it.
Yeah, you're right about that. And see, we here at WadeWorksStudios, we don't do cash.
Right.
Our stuff is all digital,
Right.
everything, electronic,
Yes.
everything. Yeah.
That's why sometimes I say, no, give me the cash. Let me stop.
Give me the hush money.
Yeah, but it's true, and we have the fear, but there's people out there that their fear is a little bit different because they know how to work the system better than us. And, it's sad that we are one of the most, like, our community spend the most money. Because January we have something happening in January. February we have Valentine's. March we have Mother's Day. This we have that day. We have Thanksgiving, so it's always Black Friday. We be lined up at Walmart.
Get my TV.
Yes, so we always giving. We spend the most money, but if you look at the average, we don't even have $1,000 for an emergency.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
Because they know how to work the system and we don't.
So who's teaching the system?
They're not teaching it in the school I've been. And I've been teaching in different schools all over the United States. I've taught in Jacksonville. I've taught in Miami. I've taught in New York. I've taught in Georgia. And no one is teaching financial literacy. I think it's only one high school in the school system that I teach in that's actually saying, okay, now we need to teach financial literacy, because if you have a set of blind people that are not willing to take the curtains off of their eyes and just keep going through blindly, then the generation behind us, they don't know any better. They don't know any better,
right?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I think it's a cultural thing as far as like us being people of color. Like our moms and pops didn't know a lot of this stuff, and their moms and pops didn't know a lot of this stuff.
Right.
So we're starting off behind.
Anyway.
Behind it, yeah. True
behind
that.
The 8
behind
ball.
the 8 ball, right.
Yeah, so that's why I'm here. I'm here to make sure. I went to a community the other day because I'm not from here. So when I drive into these poor community, it breaks my heart. Like, you know, it's so many talented people of color. We're not just talking about black, because there's the people of color. I'm from Jamaica, and there's people of color all over the place. That we are so not ingrained with just certain things that's out there for us that we fall for anything. That's why I'm always trying to open my mouth. Oh, I'm going to let you know. You don't have to listen to me because I'm financially okay. I have my 6 to a year set away.
Right.
So I want to make sure other people that's listening to my voice become in that mindset and stop being afraid. Why are you afraid to use your money during the year so you owe the government at the end of the year when they using your money anyway? Why not use their own money?
Well, I think it's what you said. What you said earlier, which was we're conditioned that way. We're conditioned that because we know when it's almost like that pot at the end of the rainbow. We like at the next year, I know when I do my taxes, I'm gonna get $5,000 back, but throughout the year you gave them 15, or something, whatever. But so you're not really getting all of it. You're just getting back what's yours anyway. And you're still not getting it all back to begin with.
And then I charge you also. Remember, you gotta pay me too. And then you wrap a refund and they get money from that. They get
from that too.
So we are in this society that we have to get everything now.
I think it's something about the lump sum,
right?
Versus increments. Like if you're getting an extra $300 to $500 a month, you see it, but you don't see it. But you get that $5,000 check, you're like, I'm going to get a car or 4 TVs, or get a car and put 4 TVs in it,
That's why I tell people, pay yourself first. Like with my husband and I, as soon as we get our paycheck, I take out $600 from my paycheck, and he takes $600. So that's $1,200 a month.
Right.
We put in a separate account before we even start paying any bill.
Right.
So at the end of the year, you're talking about $12,000 to $14,000 that we put away.
Right.
So I'm trying to educate people, pay yourself first, because those bills that you have, you're going to have bills every day.
You're going to always have the bills.
So always pay yourself first. See there's something that you can put away for your rainy day or your bad day or your whatever, or something, but always put away for yourself first.
Yeah. And you mentioned 600, and and I'm saying this because of people get fearful of thinking, $600. It don't have to be $600.
It could be $100.
You can put $100. You can put $50 away. You're saving something.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know money tight, money funny, but you got to figure it out. Because you're gonna spend it somewhere.
Yeah.
You're going to spend it somewhere.
Break 100, it's gone.
Or go 5 days through the week. You done went to. I'm just gonna use. You're gonna go to McDonald's 5 days throughout that week. You done spent darn near the $50.
Walmart, Target.
Yeah. You go to Walmart for one thing. You're coming out with 7.
It's a wrap.
I go with clients and we sit at the table, and between us, we pay $900 to $1,000 just for lunch and dinner and stuff. Just for a client setting. That's what I'm saying. You could find
You'll
it.
figure it out. Yeah.
You can figure it out.
Absolutely.
Pay yourself first.
I think that should be rule number one. Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to do because bills will attack you darn near once you get your check. But that should definitely be rule number one.
Waiting on you.
Yeah, like here it comes. You know what I'm saying? That electric payment about to hit. Yeah.
But they're gonna always come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So split your payments. Like if you have a light bill and it's $50, pay them $35.
Yeah, they'll
And
take
put
it.
that 50. They will take it.
They will take it.
They will take it as long as you're consistently paying on it. They'll take it. Save your money first, and then everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
I never have to worry about, if I have an emergency, what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm trying to instill in people. So if you redo over your W-4 and you have an extra 100 or 200 coming back, that $100 you could put away, and then when your taxes come, I'm not going to get $5,000, I'm going to get $2,000. But during the year you're saving it, because guess what? If you have an emergency in your house, you can't call the IRS and say, can I have my tax return? And that's how we have to start reprogramming.
Absolutely.
But if I'm getting that 300 or 100 extra, I can go to a place and open a bank account and don't get a card, because when you get a card, you're tempted. Don't get any card at all.
You was right here. I was getting ready to say that very thing that you just said.
Drive out of town or have a bank that is not in your city. Because when I came from New York, Citizen Bank was not here. So there's some banks that are not here. Or just don't get the ATM card that's attached to that.
Exactly.
So you just take it and send it in and do that.
Right.
So
and I have three credit unions. One here, two here and one up in D.C., Virginia area. One I have a card for, the other two I don't.
Right.
Because I'm like, I can drive to the one that's here, put the money in, and I literally don't think about it, because when I flip through my wallet, I see the cards for the other stuff, but I don't see that one, so it don't count.
Right.
It don't exist.
Right. And that's
y'all better don't lose my money.
Now, believe it or not, credit unions are probably stronger than banks.
I'm a fan of credit unions.
Me too. And they'll help you more. I'm a teacher's credit union.
Way more.
Huh? I went to teacher's credit union.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh no, that's cool.
I teach school. Remember, I teach math, so that's what I do.
Yeah, I encourage people to, if you can, open an account at a credit union, because they will help you, to me, way better or more than banks. But if y'all want to sponsor us, BOA and Wells Fargo, feel free.
Yeah, I'm with Wells Fargo too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So there's a lot of things we can do to save money. You should never say no, because there is a way, and we should always have 3 months emergency money set up somewhere, because you just never know.
Never know. Life does happen.
Life happen. Yep. And that's why I'm trying to teach these self-employed people. They don't have anything sitting down set up for them to actually be making money. So that's why the private reserve account, which is a bank account that you become your own account, and you take money from yourself, you put it in and you use the interest and pay yourself. So there's a lot of different things you can do to save your money. So if you need any help, I'm here. Call me anytime. Don't call me after 10 p.m. because I go to bed late and I'm up real early, because I think for the next year or two, I'm just going to be pushing this financial literacy, because it breaks my heart, believe it or not, when I go into communities and see what's happening, the breaking down of the community. And that's what drives me. The money don't drive me, because I'm going to work anyway and I'm going to make money anyway. But just like, it breaks my heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Shanann Huie, where can people find out more about you? Social media, website, number, whatever you want to give out, so that they can get a hold of your in the South, get hold of your services, and put all that good training to use.
Right. I'm not a social media person, but I'm learning Facebook, and as I'm going, that's the one I'm really on. You could look up for my name, Shanann Huie. Call me directly from my phone numbers all over. I'm not one of those people that put a 1-800 number. My direct cell phone number that you can call me at any time is there. Because I think if you stand behind your product, you shouldn't be afraid to answer your phone. Why are you afraid to answer your phone? Why do I have to call a 1-800 number? I used to have it, but then I was like, no, that doesn't give you more credibility. If somebody, I say, you can call me anytime you want to. I'm right here. You can come. Some people, I'm going to come to your office to make sure you're real. Yes, come to my office. My office at 409 Arrowhead Boulevard, Jonesboro. You want to come to my home office? I'm at my home office. So it's anywhere you want to. Because my goal is for people to stop being afraid. My goal is for us to come together in a circle and realize we're stronger in numbers than we are separated. There's so much talent around. There's a lot of smart people, and I don't see why us is the one that's getting. I know we're behind 200, 300, 400. That is a given. But remember, I'm coming from a country where I'm 900 and 1,000 years behind. I'm coming from a small island where I walk barefoot, and I keep telling people that. And they're like, yes, I used to walk barefoot. And people are like, oh, we can't. Yes, I did. I'm coming where I have no mother, no father. And if I can come and get a piece of the American dream, why the people here that's already grounded here can't get a piece of the dream? And that's why I'm, no, I didn't go through the struggle. And I know people, oh, you didn't. Yeah, but I went through everything because I came when I was 10. And I came with so many baggages because I didn't have anybody to look up to. So I went searching for everywhere. Thirst for knowledge. Yes, and I stayed in school because I've been going to school. This guy said, you realize you've been going to school all year? I've been going to school for like 30 years.
What they call it, a professional student?
Yes. And
it's definitely paid off, though.
Yes, it's paid off because I don't have to worry. My kids don't have to worry. My grandkids don't have to worry.
Yeah.
And if I can come here and we allow other people to infiltrate our market, and if they can come here and be a success, why the people that's not here that already have the foundation grounded can't rise up above all of that stuff? It's just to change the thinking. And I think
that's where it begins.
Yes,
right
the
there.
thinking.
Yeah, man.
Because in the islands,
poverty is a state of mind.
No, believe it or not, is what is pushed the agenda. Because when I was in the island, it's either you become a nurse, you become a doctor, or you become a teacher. So, and if you go to New York, everybody in the hospital is a Jamaican nurse.
It's a Jamaican
nurse. So we were a push, and we're coming out of poverty. So I don't know what it is, but I cannot expound on it because my scheme or where I'm coming from is totally different. I'm somebody that never had nothing. And
my reason for saying is my way is if you can change a person's way of thinking, get them to see a better way, and you can get them say if you can get that switch to click, you've done something. Because a lot of people around tax time, you'll see a lot of TV box screens outside, and
they know exactly when
you do so much more.
You start lining up for those new Jordans,
giving it back. You know, so that's why I say it's kind of it's a not necessarily a state of mind, but it's.
I don't know what it is, and I don't want to step on anybody's toe because I don't know what to say. I didn't go through the the oppression and all of this stuff, so I'm not the one to speak on that. But I'm coming from a country where we didn't even have oppression because we didn't even know what oppression was. Because we didn't have nothing, literally nothing, still using outside toilet. But I came here and I realized in myself, I didn't want that life. I don't want to walk barefoot. I don't want to be begging people for food. I don't want to be doing. So it was looking at other people and other stuff that motivated me, even in my poverty. So I just think it's whatever you have in your strength and whatever's inside of you to make you want to be more like that. I think that's what it is. I don't know what the explanation is.
Yeah. I'm sure it's probably too many things.
Variables.
There you go. There you variables. Yeah, absolutely.
And people use this as a crutch because you're talking about somebody that don't have a mother, don't have a father. And somebody blessed them, and I've had good people on my side though, people that want to see me succeeded, So I guess and that's why I want to see other people succeed.
Absolutely.
And that's why I keep pushing this agenda: get financially literate. Know how to spend your money. You don't have to spend the whole. I spend money, I'm not going to lie, but I don't spend it on foolish stuff. I spend it on entertainment and traveling and stuff like that. Because you have to enjoy. Like I said, you work hard and you need to play hard. But you have to have a balance in between. Don't go on a vacation and don't go to Disney World that costs $5,000, $6,000 when you don't have any money in the bank. You understand? That's what save up for it.
Yeah.
Build a bridge.
Yeah. I heard someone say, just using a round number, if you're spending $1,000, you should have $2,000. Just, because you don't have $1,000 if you spend $1,000.
Right.
You have $1,000 if you have $2,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you spend $1,000, you at zero.
Right.
But if you got double that, now
Basically, if you can't pay for it twice, you can't.
It's something to that effect. Yeah, yeah. Which made sense when they said it. You know, maybe I'm not articulating it right, but nonetheless.
We understand. Don't spend what you ain't got.
There
That's what he's trying to say.
Basically.
Don't spend what you don't have. And we all get into that mindset, you know. And we're programmed to that too.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And that's exactly what it is. We're programmed to that.
Every month there's something going on we need to spend our money on. And if you imagine now, Valentine's, and you don't bring your girlfriend or your wife.
Oh Lord,
it'll be a boom. But then you say, babe, I'm saving this money in the bank for us to be able to do something later. We're programmed for that gift instead of saving that money.
She watching everybody on her job get them flowers.
Yes.
And she ain't get no flowers.
Right.
No special delivery.
She ain't get no special delivery.
Yes.
That fruit bag, that fruit thing.
Teddy bear.
Yeah.
Right. But we're programmed because if you're going into your house and all your bills are paid, and if you're going
Happy
to
Valentine's
your house,
Day.
every day is a Valentine's. Every day is Thanksgiving. I eat every day. I don't have to wait for Thanksgiving.
Right.
You can see I eat every day. So I don't know. We're just programmed that we have to have certain time for us to enjoy ourselves with our money. No. Make enough. Have your different stream of income. You can spend your money every day, all day, whenever you want it, and you don't have to wait for a specific. Let Uncle Sam give you back your money that he's sitting on.
He enjoying
playing around, enjoying your money.
Right.
We need to get out that mentality. So
no, that's true. That is so true.
If you want to start a small business, call me 404-791-8840. I'm TaxNet. You can look up TaxNet on Instagram. You can look up, my name is a double N at the end and a single N in the middle. And you can call and ask me any questions. You know, I'm there. I don't charge. Some people charge. I don't charge, you know, because I feel like if I can make it better, then it'll be safer for my sons when coming up, because poverty causing affect people to do certain things that they wouldn't in the norm do it if they were, you know, because if you were having money,
if your stomach full,
right, and your stomach is getting full, and you can travel everywhere and see different things and have a good education and do all of that, then your need or that primal urge to do certain things wouldn't be there. Yeah, you know, if you're comfortable, if you're not in survival mode and you're in you know, living mode, then your means for hurting other people and doing certain things, you know, would be different, because desperation is what caused desperate actions.
It's
Absolutely.
like having a circle of friends and like you're the only one that's eating good.
Right.
Kind of got to watch out for, like, if it's 5 of y'all, 2 of them you might have to watch out for.
A couple of them looking at you funny.
Right.
In fact, they done had a conversation already.
Right. Right.
So you got to make sure your circle tight too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because if you there's
in your case, the community.
Right, my community. Because I'm around a lot of powerful black women, and you know, we don't have any arguments. Not saying arguments don't have, but we are also secure in who we are and
Your
what
argument's
we
a
do.
little bit different.
It's an argument. Like, did you see?
I'm paying for lunch.
No, right now we're talking about. Did you see this property that just came up in there? You want us to go looking and see if we can fix and flip that property? The conversation
totally
is
different conversation.
totally different. And I would like everybody in that arena to like see it like that. You understand? I don't have to worry about how my bills is getting paid. My bills are paid, and I don't even write the checks. My husband does. I don't even know what they are, so it is what it is. I don't know what the bills are, so he just paid them and move on. And we both work together as a team.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, we as a team. Yes, it's as a team, and it's not 50-50. It's 60-40 because some of the roles change. Like he do more in the home, and I do more out talking and networking, and he's not a networking person. So, you know,
got to know your strengths.
Yeah, he's not gonna talk to nobody. But she'll talk. He said she'll do it. So, you know.
No, that's good. That's
if you're
good.
comfortable, then you don't have no reason to shoot somebody into, unless you got a psychological problem, which is different than, you know, personal problems. That's how I look at it.
No, I agree. Because if a person is earning an income, making money, and living a, you know, whether it's a great life, good life, or making it life, they ain't out here trying to rob nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to change that trajectory. I really want to change that. And if I can bring in more women, women got that spot to make you guys feel a little bit more important. So I'm trying to bring more African American women in my circle. So, we can push it out to y'all.
Yeah. That's good. This is good. I like this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I'm glad. One piece of information, because the post that I responded to on Facebook is what I should have started off this thing with, which was about, you said, do you want to know how to get, I think did it say something like 15,000 in a grant or something to that effect? Right. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
What is that? What needs to be done? Can you give me the elevator? Do you have the elevator, or do you need a little bit more than the elevator pitch?
No, you don't need it. If you're in a low income area, it's the EIDL Advance. The government said that to revitalize the community. So if you have a sole prop or LLC in a low income, you have to go on the survey map to look, or you can call me. And if you are on the survey map designated as a low income area, you qualify for the $15,000 grant. That's your only qualification.
Was that the email that I showed you? Did that pertain to that? But it was that 46T thing. That wasn't the same thing.
No, that's for the loan.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's a loan and there's a grant. The loan is up to $500,000. The loan in the EIDL is up to $500,000. The grant is money that you don't have to pay back. Is up to $15,000, and that's for the low income neighborhood. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was going back to that email that I was showing you earlier. Yeah.
Yes. So you can be qualified for both, or you can.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Okay.
You can choose both the loan and the grant if you're in the low income neighborhood, or you can bypass the loan because there's a scale that you can say, I want this amount or I want that amount. As long as you can prove it with your, what is that number, 40 something?
45016T.
45016T. That's the transcript from the IRS for the taxes that you did in 2019 and 2020. You're eligible for both of them.
Okay. Good. That's good. I hope y'all learned something today. I sure did.
I enjoyed it, and I want to have a platform so I can do this for people every week, so they can, if people hear the same thing over and over again, it's either one thing, it's going to turn them off or let them come closer.
It's going to draw them in.
And people that want to drink the water, they'll come closer.
Absolutely.
And people that don't want to drink the water, they'll just drown.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. This was good. I thank you for coming through and sharing with us and discussing your business and helping us with this stuff, because again, there's a lot of us people walking around like, I don't know what this stuff is about. We're excited to get that $300 a month for the child's tax, because you're getting something,
right?
But not knowing that something's there's something at the end of this thing that's going to affect something. So be on the lookout for it.
Get a small business.
Get a small business. I agree with that. I should start saying that more. Start a business. You should. You really should.
You should.
If you good with baking pies, bake a pie. If you good with designing T-shirts, do T-shirts. If you're good with nails, do good with braids. Whatever you do good that you do for free anyway.
Right.
You can essentially turn that into a business.
It is what it is. I'm not knocking a 9 to 5.
No, absolutely.
But on a 9 to 5, you get a scheduled amount unless you do overtime. When you have a business, if you can dream big, it can get big.
It can get big.
Right, because I started with nothing, and I'm dreaming big.
You can dream big, it can get big.
It can. Yeah. But the one thing I got to tell people is you got to step out your comfort zone. You got to step out your comfort zone, and you have to put the work in.
Yeah,
it's not gonna come to you. Once in a blue moon, there's a star that hits somebody, and it, like the guy that was singing on YouTube, and it blow up.
Yeah.
But for the other 99%, it's not. You just got to put in the elbow grease.
You got to put in the work.
You got to put in the elbow grease.
Yeah. I wish I could hit that high note that'll just send me through the rafters, but I don't got that.
You never know. Somebody may see and say, "Oh, I like him. Maybe he can start doing for our company." That's what I'm saying. If nobody knows about you, like you saw me on Facebook, if I wasn't putting myself out there,
right,
then nobody would know about me. So you got to get comfortable you got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
To get comfortable, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Dropping a lot of gems.
Right.
That's a tweet.
And I just don't do everything behind the scene. I feed the homeless in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I support the domestic violence shelter Inspire, and I do school supplies for the country of Gambia. We've been doing it from my husband and I. He's from that country. We've been doing that from we were in New York. We do our big container. We send over pencil, paper, notebooks, stuff like that. But I also give back to our community because we can't help somebody abroad if we're not doing it
in our own backyard.
Right. So every year I do the shoebox drive where I put all kind of items that people need, like socks and underwears and stuff like that. And I do that. So I give back also to the community.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Shanann Huie, TaxNet LLC.
Yes.
Y'all need to go take your W-4. Have your W-4s looked at, because that's probably, is that a good place to start?
Yes, have your W-4 look after so you can get some money. All you do is just upload it into the software. It'll tell you your last three, what you can save and how much you can save on it. Then also you can have your last 3 years uploaded into the system and have your last 3 years taxes. Look at one of my friends in Miami said, I'm just trying to prove it. I uploaded my two last paycheck stuff, and I'm gonna call you back when I'm saving money. I say you will be saving money, but remember now the caveat of it: when you get taxes in January or February, whenever you get it, it will not look the same way. Right. You're gonna get less, but you're using your money here now.
You're using your money now.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, y'all know what to do. Do that. All right, let's get up out of here. It's your boy G-Way holding down G-Way Podcast, and I'm kicking it alongside with my man Deacon.
Dirty.
Y'all know what it is.
Okay.
The G-Way Podcast.
The G-Way Podcast.
Bringing you the cool interviews,
The hot topics, and all that other crap.
The G-Way Podcast with Deacon Dirty.